What is up, guys? Mr. JJ the Rocker here with some Titanfall Beta gameplay. Before we start the game up, I just want to say that I'm sorry for my leave of absence. My family discovered the magic of video streaming. I don't know where they've been for the past 5 years, but internet's been kind of crappy. But we just spent like $300 on a new router setup, so hopefully things will be coming out more regularly. I couldn't even like upload. Every time I tried to upload something, it would fail, so that's why nothing's been coming out. But because of that, I've been able to play Titanfall, and I think I recorded close to 18 usable clips or games. I started recording in like the last 2 days, like even after the beta went open, and I'd been playing it for like 2 days prior. I don't know why I didn't record. I just wasn't thinking about it, but it doesn't matter. So this gameplay is on the map. I didn't actually look. I think it's called Fracture. And all the clips I recorded are attrition, mainly because I didn't really like Hardpoint that much, and I didn't even try Last Titan Standing. It just didn't grab me so much. As much as I like Search and Destroy, I really am not that big on kind of like playoffs of it. Even though that, I know Vince Zampella worked for Infinity Ward, or worked at Infinity Ward for quite some time, and he was probably one of the first people to say, "Hey, search and destroy." In fact, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure COD 4 was the first one to have it. So yeah, he might have been the one. I don't know. But what I want to talk about with this gameplay is the fact that Titanfall might be the shooter for everybody. With your standard FPS, you seem to run into a problem where people are more experienced than other players, and as a result, it kind of hinders people's experience with it. So they don't play it as much. But I feel like with Titanfall, because of the bots, which I'm going to touch up on in a minute, more people can play. And there are just a few reasons why, and I'm going to go over them one by one. The first is what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's called the Smart Pistol. And the Smart Pistol, basically, as you can see right there, is basically a pistol that does not require you to aim down the sights. It's got a laser designator, and that locks onto targets. The way it is set up is basically it'll take longer to lock onto pilots, which are the 6 other people on the other team who are controlled by actual players. It takes, I think, twice as long to lock onto Spectres compared to Grunts. And those are the 2 AIs that you can kill with the Smart Pistol. The Grunt, I believe, is like instantaneous, and the Spectre's like a second. Whereas the pilots, I think the pilot's close to 3 seconds or something like that, something crazy. But yeah. So I'm not actually using a base factory setting Smart Pistol. I unlocked I think it's called Enhanced something. I don't remember. It basically makes it lock on faster, but in order to do that, I had to get a smaller lock on target, so that little square in the middle of the screen is actually smaller than what it normally would be on a Smart Pistol. For my Titan, as you can see, I'm rocking the 40mm cannon burst fire, which just tears through other Titans. I'm also using nuclear ejection and warp speed, I think is what it's called, and that's basically, as soon as you go on your Titan, normally you have to wait close to, like, I think it's like 8 seconds before a Titan drops. With warp speed, it's like 4, I think it halves it. But, yeah, so that's my Titan setup. Sadly, there's only one Titan chassis in the beta, or there was. The beta's over now. There was only one chassis. It was the Atlas. And hopefully, when the game finally comes out on March the 11th, I will be able to put up some gameplays with the Ogre and I believe the Strider is what it's called. I'm not 100% sure. But so back onto the topic of people being able to play Titanfall. So I know I listen to other YouTubers and people who do podcasts, and people who generally aren't good at gaming tend to they want to play first person shooters, but they tend to stray away from them, mainly because other players are way too good. But what Titanfall has done is they wanted a I guess it's close to like 24 versus 24. I'm guessing. I don't know exactly how many people are on the map at one time. I know player versus player is 6v6, but I'm not entirely sure with CPUs what the actual player count is. But what they've done is they've taken that standard of gameplay and basically mixed it with other assets like CPUs, which we've seen before in like Call of Duty's what is it called? Combat training. We've seen that before where people can have CPUs on their team and they can play against a mixture of CPUs. I think it was in Black Ops 2 that they actually made that into a playlist. But with Titanfall, it's very, very different. Each CPU has a specific task that they must fulfill. For example, Spectres basically try to take out all the Titans. They're the big artillery guys. They're actually robots, and they take longer to lock onto. They're a harder target to kill. Sorry about that, had some mic problems, but as I was saying, Spectres won't shoot back at you so much, but they're harder to kill. Grunts, on the other hand, are much easier to kill, but will constantly be firing at other infantry rather than just trying to take down Titans. And then the pilots are obviously they're player controlled. They do whatever the heck they want. But I feel like the balance between the Titans and the pilots is actually really, really good. The maneuverability of the pilots and the absolute power of the pilots basically allow any player to take down a Titan if they possess enough skill to do so. Whereas Titans can also very easily take down players if they possess enough skill to do so. I have yet to be in a Titanfall game, and I played a lot of the beta. I was just nonstop playing it when it was out. I did not run into any problems where people were basically the Call of Duty scenario where you join a game and people just destroy you. I didn't run into that problem at all, and I feel like Titanfall will not have that problem because they've really figured out how to balance the game. Now, obviously, we were only playing a beta, and that's definitely not the finished version of the game, and I hope they don't change it around too much because I feel like they've basically nailed it at this point, and that the beta was just server stress, and that's actually why they opened it up towards the end, was they were getting all the data they needed to make sure that everything launched smoothly, but they didn't have enough server stress, and they wanted to really test that. So everybody in the Xbox One and the PC, at least people on the PC who registered, could download Titanfall and basically stress all of these servers out. But in the end, I feel like the longevity factor of Titanfall will be that of a normal FPS, about a year, and then it will slowly die down. I will definitely play Titanfall for well over a year. I still play Modern Warfare 2 for crying out loud, and that game came out in like 2008. So, you know, you can say what you want about Titanfall and how it's a COD killer or how it will basically die off very quickly, but in my opinion, I think it's a game that definitely um, gets done what it set out to do, and it's just so fun. And for people on the Xbox 360 who did not get to play Titanfall, March 22nd, when you guys finally get Titanfall, you guys are going to love it. It's great. I don't exactly know how well it's going to perform on current generation consoles, but Titanfall was the first next generation title I played that felt like a next generation title. And I mean, as you can see here, when you lose, you have a chance to get some points. They nailed that with the extraction, but really, these guys shoot down the ship. We had no chance of winning anyway. Um, but yeah, so I mean, Titanfall nailed it on all corners. It was great. At least the beta was. Cannot wait for the game. Definitely feels like a next generation title. Obviously, if you look at the scoreboard, some people do better than others, but it's not hard to do well. I mean, just look at that. I mean, no one even went into like double digit deaths. Like, that's how easy it is to play Titanfall, and that's why I think it's going to last for so long. But now we're at the end of the game, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to you guys. Leave a like if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more from the channel. I know I really haven't asked you guys this, but what was your favorite game in 2012? We're in March, and I haven't even asked you yet. So in the comments, tell me what your favorite game in 2012 was, and what you're looking forward to most in Titanfall. I'm Mr. JJ the Rocker. Stay classy, YouTube.